Chapter 1. Once upon a time in a far-off land, there lived a beautiful princess named Sophia. She was kind, brave, and loved by all who knew her. One day, while riding her horse through the countryside, she came across a strange and enchanted castle that she had never seen before. Sophia had always been curious about the world around her, and so she decided to investigate. As she approached the castle, she noticed that its walls were covered in vines and that the entrance was guarded by a fierce-looking beast. Undeterred, Sophia approached the beast and spoke to it kindly. To her surprise, the beast bowed down and allowed her to pass. As she made her way through the castle's corridors, Sophia marveled at the magical creatures that she encountered along the way. She saw talking animals, fairies, and enchanted plants, all of which greeted her warmly and seemed happy to see her. Eventually, Sophia came to a grand chamber where she met the castle's master, a powerful sorceress who was known throughout the land for her wicked ways. The sorceress cackled when she saw Sophia and told her that she would never leave the castle alive. Sophia was not afraid, though. She had faced many challenges in her life and knew that she was capable of anything she set her mind to. With a brave heart and a determined spirit, she faced the sorceress head-on. To her surprise, Sophia found that the sorceress was not as powerful as she seemed. With quick thinking and clever tactics, Sophia was able to outsmart the sorceress and break the curse that had been placed upon the castle. The enchanted creatures all cheered as Sophia emerged from the chamber victorious, and she knew that she had made many new friends in the magical castle. From that day forward, Sophia visited the castle often and became known throughout the land as the brave princess who had tamed the enchanted castle. Chapter 2. As Princess Sophia explored the enchanted castle, she stumbled upon a room that was unlike any other. The walls were adorned with shimmering crystals, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of jasmine. Curious, Sophia approached a crystal pedestal that sat in the center of the room. As she drew near, she noticed a glowing orb resting atop it. The orb pulsed with a warm light, and Sophia felt an inexplicable pull towards it. Without thinking, she reached out and touched the orb. Suddenly, she was enveloped in a blinding flash of light and felt herself being pulled through a vortex of colors and sensations. When the light faded and Sophia's vision cleared, she found herself in a strange and unfamiliar land. The sky was a bright shade of purple, and the trees were made of glittering crystal. It was a world unlike anything Sophia had ever seen before. As she explored this new land, Sophia came across a group of friendly creatures who welcomed her with open arms. They explained that she was in a magical realm that was being threatened by an evil sorcerer. The sorcerer had stolen the magic of the land and used it to create a powerful army of dark creatures. Sophia knew that she had to help. With the help of her new friends, she set out on a dangerous journey to defeat the sorcerer and restore the magic to the land. They faced many challenges along the way, including treacherous terrain, fierce battles, and cunning traps set by the sorcerer. But Sophia was determined, and with the help of her friends, she was able to overcome every obstacle in their path. Finally, they reached the sorcerer's lair, where he was waiting for them. A fierce battle ensued, but in the end, Sophia was able to defeat the sorcerer and return the magic to the land. As the magic returned, the crystal trees and purple sky disappeared, and Sophia found herself back in the enchanted castle. But she knew that the adventure she had just experienced would stay with her forever, and she was grateful for the new friends and memories she had made. Chapter 3. After returning from her adventure in the magical realm, Princess Sophia felt a sense of restlessness. She knew that there was more to the world than what she had seen, and she longed to explore beyond the confines of the castle walls. One day, Sophia made the decision to leave the castle and venture out into the world. She donned a cloak to disguise her identity and set out on horseback, with only a map and her wits to guide her. As she traveled through the countryside, Sophia encountered a variety of people and creatures, each with their own unique stories and perspectives. She saw firsthand the struggles of peasants and farmers, as well as the extravagance of wealthy merchants and nobles. Sophia also witnessed the harsh realities of life, as she came across villages destroyed by war and natural disasters. But she also saw the beauty in the world, as she gazed upon majestic mountains and sparkling oceans. Despite the challenges she faced along the way, Sophia persisted in her journey, determined to see all that the world had to offer. She made new friends and allies, and even encountered a few enemies who sought to harm her. As Sophia continued her travels, she began to understand the true meaning of courage and compassion. She saw that even in the darkest of times, there was always hope and goodness in the world. Eventually, Sophia's travels brought her back to the castle, but she was forever changed by her experiences. She had gained a newfound appreciation for the world and its inhabitants, and she knew that her adventures had only just begun. From that day forward, Princess Sophia made a promise to herself to always seek out new adventures and to never stop exploring the world around her. Chapter 4. As the sun rose over the castle, Princess Sophia awoke to the sound of commotion outside her window. She rushed to the balcony to see what was going on, and was shocked to see that the castle was under attack by a horde of vicious trolls. Sophia quickly donned her armor and rallied her soldiers to defend the castle. The battle was intense, with swords clashing and arrows flying through the air. Sophia fought with all her might, determined to protect her home and her people. As the sun began to set, the trolls began to retreat. Sophia and her soldiers chased after them, determined to drive them away for good. But as they pursued the trolls, Sophia noticed something strange. They were being led by a dark figure on horseback. Sophia and her soldiers continued their pursuit until they came to a dark forest. They saw the figure disappear into the trees, and Sophia knew that they had to follow. She led her soldiers into the forest, determined to confront the mysterious figure and put an end to the attacks once and for all. As they traveled deeper into the forest, Sophia and her soldiers encountered a variety of dangerous creatures, including giant spiders and enchanted trees. But Sophia refused to back down, and with the help of her soldiers, they continued on. Finally, they came to a clearing in the forest, where the dark figure on horseback was waiting for them. Sophia recognized him immediately. It was the sorcerer who had threatened her kingdom years before. Sophia and the sorcerer engaged in a fierce battle, with magic flying through the air and swords clashing. But Sophia was determined to emerge victorious, and with a final blow, she defeated the sorcerer once and for all. As the sorcerer lay defeated, Sophia and her soldiers returned to the castle, victorious. The trolls were no longer a threat, and Sophia knew that her kingdom was safe once again. But she also knew that there would always be new challenges and threats on the horizon, and she was ready to face them head-on. Chapter 5. After the battle with the trolls and the sorcerer, Princess Sophia knew that it was time to focus on rebuilding her kingdom. She knew that it would be a long and difficult process, but she was determined to see it through. Sophia spent her days working tirelessly to repair the damage done to the castle and to her people's homes. She also worked to ensure that her people had enough food and resources to survive the coming winter. Despite the hard work, Sophia was never alone. Her loyal soldiers and the kind-hearted peasants were always by her side, ready to help in any way they could. One day, as Sophia was working in the gardens, she noticed a group of children watching her. She smiled at them and asked if they needed anything. One of the children, a young girl with curly hair, stepped forward. "Princess," she said, "we've heard stories about your bravery and your kindness. We want to help too." Sophia was touched by the girl's words. "Thank you," she said. "There is always work to be done. Come, I'll show you what needs to be done." And so, the children worked alongside Sophia and her soldiers, helping to repair the castle walls and tend to the gardens. They laughed and played as they worked, and Sophia couldn't help but smile at their enthusiasm. As the days passed, Sophia began to notice that the kingdom was slowly but surely returning to its former glory. The gardens were blooming once again, and the people were beginning to rebuild their homes. Sophia knew that there was still much work to be done, but she also knew that with the help of her loyal subjects, anything was possible. And so, she continued to work tirelessly, determined to see her kingdom thrive once again. Chapter 6. As the winter months approached, Princess Sophia knew that her people would need warm clothes and enough food to last through the cold months. She organized a group of soldiers and peasants to go on a hunting trip to bring back food for the kingdom. The hunting party consisted of Sophia, her trusted advisor, and several soldiers and peasants. They rode out into the forest with their bows and arrows, determined to bring back enough food to feed the kingdom. They searched the forest for hours, but it seemed as though all the animals had gone into hiding. Just as they were about to give up, they stumbled upon a clearing filled with deer. The hunting party quickly got to work, taking aim and shooting their arrows. Sophia watched in amazement as her soldiers and peasants worked together, taking down the deer one by one. As the sun began to set, the hunting party returned to the castle with enough food to last through the winter. Sophia and her people worked tirelessly to preserve the meat and store the vegetables, ensuring that no one in the kingdom would go hungry. With the food taken care of, Sophia turned her attention to the winter clothing. She organized a group of women to start weaving blankets and warm clothing for the kingdom. The women worked tirelessly, day and night, weaving warm blankets and clothing for the kingdom. Sophia and her soldiers helped where they could, delivering supplies and keeping watch over the castle. As the snow began to fall and the winds howled outside, the kingdom was warm and cozy. Sophia knew that it was the hard work and dedication of her people that had made it all possible. And so, the winter passed peacefully and without incident, and Sophia knew that her kingdom was well prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 7. As spring arrived, Princess Sophia knew it was time to focus on the future of her kingdom. She called a meeting with her advisors and the leaders of neighboring kingdoms to discuss plans for trade and alliances. Sophia was determined to build strong relationships with her neighbors, but she also knew that her kingdom had much to offer in terms of resources and goods. She proposed a trade agreement that would benefit both parties, and the leaders of the neighboring kingdoms agreed. The trade agreement opened up new opportunities for Sophia's kingdom. The merchants began importing exotic goods from other lands, and in return, Sophia's kingdom began exporting their own goods, such as textiles, jewelry, and fine pottery. As the kingdom prospered, Sophia focused on improving the lives of her people. She built new schools, libraries, and community centers, providing education and resources to those who had previously gone without. One day, as Sophia was walking through the streets of the kingdom, she came across a young girl who was playing alone in a deserted alleyway. Sophia approached the girl, and after some coaxing, the girl revealed that she had no family or home. Sophia took the girl under her wing and brought her back to the castle. She provided the girl with a warm bed, nourishing meals, and a safe environment. Over time, the girl became like a daughter to Sophia, and the two formed a deep and loving bond. Sophia knew that her kingdom still had much to do, but she was confident that with her determination and the support of her people, they would continue to thrive and prosper for generations to come.